Well, I'm Dr. Julia Royston and super excited to bring you people, places, and things, information, resources, and tools. And I'm always excited to bring you authors. You know, that's my thing. But this young lady that I'm about to introduce does way more than just an author in a book. And I'm not saying just to diminish it in any way, shape, or form. I'll rephrase it and say she is not only, there it is, that's better, an author of a book, but does multiplicity of things. So first, before we get started into the conversation, get your pen, get your paper, get your notebook, or get your phone out and start searching for her on social media. So I want Stephanie Jackson to introduce herself, tell us where she's from, and tell us where you can find her on social media, because I know how y'all do. Y'all be searching and following and liking and hopefully sharing as we're in the conversation. So Stephanie, introduce yourself, social media. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Jackson, also known as Queen Savannah Sunshine, not S-U-N, but S-O-N. You can find me on my website, first of all, at Get Your Pencils Ready, Get Your Pens Ready. It is HTTPS, of course, :// with Koji.com. It's WITHKOJI.com / the symbol at H.O.P.E _ eternally ETERNALLY _LLC.
Okay, say that
So
one more time. After with Koji.com / at H.O.P.E eternally.
There's a period after the E.
And underscore. Okay. Well, Hope has got a period after each letter. H.O.P.E eternally _LLC. Ooh, yeah. That's a mouthful. All right.
So my business is called Hope Eternally, where we help other people to evolve eternally. So this is everything that I do is all about developing, creating, solidifying legacies for families just to continue to thrive, to grow and flourish.
Okay, so I have to stop right there even before. So go to withkoji.com at Hope Eternally LLC, and you know all the underscores and the periods. But I've got to know, and that's where all her contact information is. But I've got to know. So what spurred on this whole company, business, and movement, Hope Eternally?
Well, my mother was going through treatment for breast cancer. And I said, I don't want her to pass away. This is what in 2012, 2013. And I was like, I can't live. She can't leave this earth without me creating something that's going to help, to make her feel proud. You know what I'm saying? My mother, she a breast cancer survivor, stage 4 breast cancer.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah.
She's had 9 strokes in her brainstem.
Wow.
And she's still functioning, So at that time, I wanted to create something that would help other families to evolve and to continue to grow. Because even after a parent or grandparent passes away, it's our responsibility as members of our own families to carry on the legacy of our families, because they've instilled lessons within us, and we have to be the example that, especially as a Christian, we have to be the example in the world that other people need to see. So yes, and by trade, I am a I'm a teacher and I'm a certified school guidance counselor. So during my graduate studies, I created like I guess you would say a format template of what my center, it's like a capstone class, and we had to create something that we wanted to actually, put into to bring to reality.
Right.
And I just have uh I know that it's my passion and it's my purpose to speak life into the world so that it may be changed, and not just into the world, but children and families so that they can transform their own worlds, because it starts at home, you
Right.
know, and then branching out into outside of your four walls.
Right. So this is a part of your whole existence, every part of that, because as a retired teacher myself, that is teaching is delayed gratification.
Mhm.
That's what I often say. It's like a farmer. You don't plant a seed today and then you're going to get the harvest tomorrow. It doesn't happen like
Right.
that. And that's the way teaching is. It's just an ongoing constant process. So let's go back to the beginning. What possessed you to be a teacher and counselor?
Oh my goodness. I was working at Ivy Tech Community College in higher education. I was working on my master's in higher education. It was almost finished. And I went to a HBCU showcase of HBCUs. I know that you partner with them. And Andrea had her exhibit or showcase for HBCUs, and her aunt had said, Stephanie, I was doing a session, and she said, Stephanie, I think that have you ever thought about being a teacher? And no, I had never thought about being a teacher. And the opportunity presented itself there at the showcase, where JCPS was looking for teachers to go through what's called an ACES program. It
Mhm.
was a alternative certification for minorities, where like I was teaching and going to school at the same time. And it was a lot. But
Mhm.
when I was at Ivy Tech, working in admissions and international student affairs, I saw that they changed the like the reading, the remedial reading courses and writing courses. They split them from 2 classes to 4, and I said, that's not right. Because I mean, I understand why, because students weren't getting it. I
Mhm.
wanted to be on the front end of education to help bridge those gaps. So that's why I wanted to become a teacher. And then becoming a school guidance counselor, and I didn't think about this until like later in life, like I actually started a peer mentoring program, a peer mediation program at my elementary school, Camp Taylor Elementary, with our school counselor. And I'm a people person. I love to listen to people and help them to see the power that they have to resolve their own problems, because it starts within, always. Life is an inside job.
Oh yeah. All day long, all day long. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. So for because I have an international audience, so let me just clarify something. JCPS is Jefferson County Public Schools, which is local to us, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, in the area in which we both live, even though I live in Indiana. If you know geography, get your geography out. And Indiana and Kentucky are border states. And so in the United States. So to my African brothers and sisters, let me just clarify what that is. So they're right next door to each other. And of course, HBCU stands for the historically Black colleges and universities. And of course, we all have our segregation stories literally around the world. We found that out with injustice with the Breonna Taylor situation, that they're like, y'all not the only ones with social injustice issues. So we're not the only ones. Apartheid, they've had it all over the world. So HBCUs, of course, are historically Black colleges and universities. when Black people could not go to school with white people. So they're still thriving, and there's been really a major resurgence of historically Black colleges and universities. They never died, they never went away. Some of them merged, but they never died and went away. But there's been an effort to pour back into those schools. And a big shout out to Miss Andrea Houston, better known as AJ to all of us, for allowing her foundation, and even, as they say, my baby foundation, which is only a year and a half old, to partner with her to provide in our local area um, school supplies and books and all that for the underserved and underrepresented communities. And in the past, prior to COVID, she used to take busloads of students and do tours to
Mhm.
historically Black colleges and universities. So that's a major thing. And as a matter of fact, Stephanie, my sister went through the ACES program. So
Yeah.
that's not she's now just became an assistant principal. So that's a phenomenal, because my sister was supposed to be head of some hospital somewhere, but
Oh,
now
wow.
she's an assistant principal at an elementary school, which is a beautiful thing. So it is a way and an effort, and even around the world, if you think of something creatively where you can apply this to an underserved or underrepresented community, because it's a opportunity for them to have so much exposure to so many different schools,
Mhm.
and the inside track and the inside opportunity. But the students get opportunities to have a teacher who has corporate experience,
Mhm.
not just from high school, 4 years of college into the classroom, and you have no outside corporate experience. Because there's a lot of teachers who historically did that, went from high
Mhm.
school to college, and then, no, I've only taught, I haven't done anything else. And so therefore that's a way for enrichment to happen.
Mhm.
So just a sidebar for everybody, catch everybody up to speed. So to me, Stephanie, you were in the right place at the right time, doing the thing that you're called to do.
Exactly. And I'm a product of a historically Black college. I graduated from the Kentucky State University in
Yay! That's my dad's alma mater. My
in
dad went
Frankfort.
there.
Yes. And that's even how I went with the color scheme or theme for my book cover.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So, but my dad kind of did the opposite. Since he wasn't able to go to traditional schools, he made us all go to traditional school. So I
Oh.
guess so we would be the integration part, but he didn't have anything against HBCUs. He just like, you have the opportunity, now you're gonna do it. So we had that opportunity to go to all traditional schools. But secretly, I'm kind of jealous because the HBCU community is so tight. It's so thick. It's so
Mhm.
you get a family. If you don't have one, you get one. You're gonna have one by going to a HBCU.
Definitely.
It doesn't necessarily mean everybody perfect, but you get a family. You're
Yeah.
gonna fit in somewhere, some way, somewhere. So something that other people don't know is Stephanie sings. Normally is singing. Anytime she's on anywhere I've seen on a live stream, she'll go, "Day, hi, hey." She's singing you into her live stream, or she's singing you into her setting. So when did you start singing?
Well, I've been singing, I believe, since I could talk.
Well,
My paternal grandmother, Roberta Nifley, she taught all of her grandchildren the song. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Or like we all had to sing it. And
oh, yes, and say keep going because it sounded good to me. As
thank
always, I
you.
like your voice. I really do. It's really nice. So yeah, they did that. They brought us up, and we was in the little children's sunshine choir, and we was in the
Yeah.
so churches where is where you live and where you breathe.
Yeah, my family, the Nifleys, my daddy's side of the family, we used to go to his church when he lived in Detroit. The church is called Calvary Baptist Church, which is in Mount Clemens, Michigan.
Okay.
Like, so it's northeast of Detroit, but we would go there every year to sing, just to worship. So, and I've been singing in church settings, mostly until probably like the last 8 years.
Hmm. Yeah, because you've been teaching and coaching people more. So,
Mhm.
um, so that singing part is a part of you. So, are we gonna ever get a CD? Or do we have music?
So there is a project in the works.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm in the planning process to see what quarter I want to release the project. So be on the lookout.
That's the
Make
reason
sure
why you
you
have to go to
follow me.
withkoji.com so you can follow her on all social media so you'll know when this project is going to come out. We're going to take a break right here. We're going to be back with more. Well, welcome back. I'm Dr. Julia Royston with Miss Stephanie Jackson. Oh my goodness, singers and teachers meet. It's awesome, awesome. Singers, teachers, and authors. When we get together, it's amazing. It's incredible. So, I want to switch gears. You know, this is my favorite part. So first off, I gotta ask. So, when did you first start writing?
So as a kid, I would play school and I would write my little story novel. I know why the cage bird sings.
That's your favorite author? I know Maya, Dr. Maya. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me again. Um, when did you first start writing?
So I started writing back in 95 when I read Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise.
Mm,
And then I read her Miss my English teacher, Miss Duffy. She introduced me to her novel, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And when I was able to see a Black woman writing books, telling her story, no matter how not so bright the story was, and helped me to give myself permission to see myself in a greater light.
mm.
So then I started reciting and performing her poems for like a local beauty and talent competitions. Then when I went to college, I would journal and such, and those journal writings would turn into stories or poems throughout college. But it wasn't until probably 2012 that I really began to process my emotions and life experiences. So that's how I was able to deal with growing in life through writing. Um, and that's when I really began to consciously create written works during my adult life, and adding the singing aspect to my performances in places such as like Jazzy Blue, which was a local poetry spot, 30 something entertainment events with Everett Morton, Roots 101 African American Museum, African Heritage Festivals, and different open mic spaces. So,
So first off, nugget number one is journaling. I think a lot of us start. Everybody doesn't. I mean, it's not a fail-proof way, but it worked for me, and it's worked for Stephanie Jackson. So I think getting your ideas down on paper and or a computer or speaking it into your phone is so key. And then secondly, my second nugget for you: never ever delete anything, because you never know when that idea for that thing will be used for something else. Okay, so tell us about your book.
so my book is called The Power of Five: Reclaiming Your Power After COVID, Racial Injustice, and Beyond. Um, I wrote the book because I was dealing with my own discomfort and hopelessness and sadness behind living alone during, the pandemic, and living in Louisville, Kentucky during the murder of Breonna Taylor,
Mhm.
as well as David McAtee. And as a teacher, I was responsible for creating a virtual space at the time where my elementary school students felt empowered to continue to live and thrive, although they couldn't control, things outside of their household due to the pandemic and racial injustice. So it evolved into a mindfulness practice where um, so power is something that I've already talked about it. And I believe every person has their own God-given talent, even if you don't believe in a God. You have talents that have been instilled in you. And it's our responsibility to use our gifts and our talents to make the world a better place. Um, because we all have a purpose. So power has an acronym, and P stands for practicing gratitude. And it's a 5-minute practice. And sometimes, even if you don't have 5 minutes, if you can just practice a little gratitude. P stands for practice gratitude, thinking about the things that you are grateful for. It could be tangible or intangible. Being grateful for peace of mind is definitely health is definitely something that you could be grateful for. Always having an optimistic mindset, thinking about the things that you are hopeful for today. That could start with your to-do list. What you're hopeful for today, this week, this month, this year, or even your lifetime. um that's the legacy building piece. And then W stands for a wise plan. Thinking about your optimistic mindset, what you're hopeful for, what quick action steps can you take in order to make your hopes and dreams your reality? Again, each one of these letters is just for a 60-second practice. Okay. Um, and then E stands for an exercise. Now, in the book, there's like a list of different exercises that you can practice, such as just being present. A lot of times we don't take enough time just to be still. You could do a breathing exercise. You can even, this is something that I do often. I will take like a post-it note and write my wise plan on the post note and put it into my planner. So that starts my to-do list for the day.
Mhm.
And if you've got those 2 or 3 things down, because all you have is 60 seconds to think and write. If you write those things down, that's 60 seconds, and it's putting it in your mind that you're going to be intentional about getting those things done. And then R stands for reflecting on your greatness. That it is not often enough that we sit with who we are, how we show up in the world, how we can show up in the world,
Mhm.
because your success and your health is based on your mindset. Your wellness is based on your mindset. And being that we couldn't go outside, to interact with other people during the pandemic. So sometimes you have to sit with self in order to empower self to go and be and do greater things. So that is the power of 5.
Wow, that is incredible. Now, one of the things that I really liked about the Power of Five is it's interactive,
Mhm.
because it is reflective and you can write inside. You can make notes. It's got blank pages. It's got questions. So it's really interactive and very, very engaging, literally for all ages. I don't think it's too young to start that practice, even in middle school and high school, college. I think that you need to really begin that process. I want you to mention just again about the importance of legacy building, even for not for the adults, for just saying what's your legacy. It's all about you, but the legacy building for even the younger generation, to always know that there's somebody coming behind you. There's always somebody looking up to you, and wanting a path blazed or a trail blazed, something that somebody is looking to you for? And what are some things that you feel like are really key to legacy building?
Um, I think legacy building, some of the key points to building a legacy is, how are you spending your time? How are you spending your time? Now, I'm gonna say a lot of children, teenagers, even lots of adults spend time on social media and playing video games, and sometimes just, laying down, sleeping or whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not doing it in excess, because you have to be a well-rounded, balanced person um, in order to be and do the things that you're put on the earth to do. So it's important that young people learn early in life that whatever gifts they have or whatever interests they have, you have to spend time sharpening those skills, learning how to further develop those skills and those gifts, because everybody doesn't have the same gift. And if we all had the same gifts, then the world would be a boring place. Um, but it's all about how you use your time, how you use your money, how you use your resources, right? Because you may not have a lot, you know. Muhammad Ali didn't come from a whole lot, but he definitely tapped into his resources. And I say Muhammad Ali because he's from our city, Louisville, Kentucky. And then collaborating with other people is essential with building a legacy, because it's not just about you, but it's about how you can help others and work with others in order for other people to also be able to use their gifts and their talents and resources.
Yeah.
And building a legacy is also thinking about, based on the lessons that you have learned from your family, looking around the world and figuring out, how can you make it a better place?
Mm. Yeah.
How can you, and the people don't spend enough time. People don't, everybody's just thinking about me, and so self-absorbed. And I can understand because of this pandemic, especially. The mindset of children is, it sometimes it breaks my heart just teaching now, because a lot of children feel as if they can't do anything.
Mhm.
They feel as if it's like a learned helplessness,
And
if you will.
hopelessness. And
Yes.
hopelessness, because
Yes.
that's the reason why well, and that's for another show, but the child suicide rate has gone increasingly
Mhm.
high since this time, because they feel like this world's not going to be worth me being in, so I'll just
Mhm.
end it now.
Mhm.
And that's a horrific thing, because in my mind I'm like, well, you're a part of the solution to make it better, because you're here,
Mhm.
baby, so you can help
Mhm.
us do better and be better and live better and grow and do better. But they like, I feel like the next generation is going to destroy it, and it's going to be a mess, and we're not going to even have anything to to make better or to
Mhm.
increase. So wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
I believe Whitney Houston said it best. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be.
Mhm.
Now I sang that at my first talent show when I was 10.
Oh
I
wow.
I sing it every time I get on the mic for karaoke. But it
But
really,
it's the
it is
truth though.
so true. It
Yeah.
is so true.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. It really is. And I used to sing it at the Sunday school graduations for our children, for the when the children graduate high school or get promoted in school. So
Mhm.
But it is a true statement. I mean, it may sound cliche or whatever, and that was a top 10 hit for her or whatever, number one hit, but it is absolutely true. So I
Mhm.
gotta ask, what's next? What's on the horizon? What's next?
Oh, so what's next? Well, tomorrow, I am going to be facilitating a vision board session for the Play Cousins Collective. It's the local nonprofit organization that builds and creates a village around our people and their families. So that starts at 11 o'clock. And then I'm going to be doing just a quick series of free 30-minute group sessions for those who purchased their book between December and January. Um, the Revolutionary Black Panther Party has invited me to be the host of their Poetry in Motion events for the Black Power Week, which is going to be on February the 29th. Friday, January 29th at 6 p.m. But the week starts on Thursday. I'm also going to be the facilitator for the Women of Intent group here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be the third Saturday of the month for February through June, so 6 months, starting at 10 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. at the Goodwill on Broadway here in Louisville, Kentucky. And then you can also look for the Power of Five journal that's going to be coming out.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
A workbook series for the Power of Five. A music project is also in the works, as I said before.
Yay.
And then make sure that you go to my website and follow me on all of my social media platforms so that you can be part of my coaching sessions that are going to start in the fall.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie Jackson. They can be isn't moving in the Stephanie Moving Jackson
Definitely
is
moving
on
Jackson.
Facebook. So start
Mhm.
looking for Stephanie Moving Jackson and follow her on all of her social media, especially she's extremely active on Facebook. So be sure and find Stephanie Jackson, The Power of Five. Be sure and
Mhm.
find that online. Buy that through her at that withkoji.com website so that you can get a signed copy. Buy multiples, invite your friends, follow Stephanie Jackson. And thank you so much for being my guest. And I greatly appreciate having been the publisher on this project and spreading the word and spreading the knowledge of the Power of Five. Thank you much, dear. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you so much. And my prayer always is that you today, tomorrow, and always that you live your best life. Thanks so much.